All right, let's get her going. It's a real Kyper and Bourne show. Live and in color. Sportsnet 360, 590 The Fan in Toronto. Streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, where we like a thumbs up. The Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandale with you for the next 2 hours. Leaf Hour edition, and then National Steve Valiquette, analyst with the New York Rangers on MSG. Always fun as we go into our final regular season grill marks.
Oh, yeah. This would be it.
Right.
And I think you're winning, JB.
But is it the regular season or is it just...
I don't know. I'm not the producer.
Well, I think I'm not the producer of that either.
We'll have to ask the boss when he's on.
We'll have to ask. Also, in about 35 minutes, you're going to give us a true and false.
I came up with 12 questions. There's no way we use all 12, but there's 12 questions about the past, present, and future of the Toronto Maple Leafs that I will ask you in the true or false form. So we'll do that after the break.
In the meantime, we close out game number 81 for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they get ready. Travel day to Ottawa to close out the regular season.
Oh my God.
I can only imagine what was going through Sammy's mind and to a lesser degree yours with the Leafs up 3-0 against the Dallas Stars, and the Dallas Stars showing no interest in this game, zero.
Yeah. I got to tell you that the fact that the stat here at the top of your sheet
That's the
is
one.
Absolutely baffling.
Correct.
Okay. The Stars became the 6th team in NHL history to overcome a 3-goal and a 2-goal deficit in the same game en route to regulation win. That's how unlikely it was that the Leafs would find a way to give those points away. 6 times in NHL history, and they pulled it off. Unbelievable. Just pulled defeat from the jaws of victory.
So we may have a lot of markings of this regular season, but does that one just kind of put the cherry on top?
Oh, that is the cherry.
I will say, I came on here yesterday and I kind of, talked longingly about the playoffs and the playoff atmosphere and the stress and how last night was a playoff game. I was standing for the last 10 minutes of that game. I was standing in front of my television. I'm like, surely to God they could give it up.
You're sick.
And I mean,
you are sick.
If I will make this claim right now, if the Toronto Maple Leafs get one of the top 5 picks, I will take my own money and I will buy a Maverick Bourque Dallas Stars jersey. Because Maverick Bourque
you should be getting a Troy Stetcher jersey is what you should
and
get.
That boy, I don't know who the hell Huru is on the Stars. He was buzzing the whole night. I will buy a Maverick Bourque jersey with my own dollars because he put the team on his back. Hat trick. Legends roll.
I'm listening. I'm listening to you say all of this, and all I can think of in my mind is if and when they go from 5th to 6th.
It's gonna suck.
No, it's not gonna suck.
It's gonna be painful.
It may be one of the most painful things that you're setting yourself up again, bud.
You mean me?
Yeah.
Setting myself up for disappointment?
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay. How will the Leafs? There's no way they'll let me down. So how would I ever handle that?
We know what you'll do.
This is a mile thick.
We'll know you'll go out and buy the jersey, but give us something when they go from 5th to 6th.
Yeah.
What happens with Sammy McKee?
I'll be sour. I will be sour. I would say that the end of this season has kind of given you something to watch for and to root against the Leafs and to have something that there's something there for the end of it, and they've found their way to the bottom. They still need to lose on Wednesday or have the Kraken get one more point, and boy, they're putrid. They might not get another point, so they still need to lose on Wednesday. But I'm just happy that they've found the way to put themselves in this position. We can talk about the process and how they got there, and James Myrtle wrote a great piece today about it. It wasn't a pretty process to get them there. It
wasn't even on purpose.
It wasn't on purpose. But the fact that they're there and they have a 42% chance of getting a top 5 pick, it's pretty amazing.
Something.
You got to take it. And it's going to suck. Yeah, for sure. I get it. But God, I don't know.
The only thing that as I'm watching this team, just absolutely, I really believe that if there was another 2 or 3 weeks left in the season, they could be looking at first overall. Like that's a team
They look like they'll never win.
That they just need this season to extend a little longer, and they would have given Vancouver a run for their money for being the worst team in the league.
I don't know about Vancouver. Vancouver's been pretty wretched.
They'd
for a
be
long
in
time.
that.
Did you watch them compete?
That game last
The
night
other
was.
Vancouver's last 2 games, they don't look like the Leafs. I can tell you that.
It is a combination of American League players, waiver claims, mailing it in as the season's over. It's bad, man.
I cannot believe
But
how bad it is.
you just had to eat it here for a few weeks. It's over on Wednesday, and cross your fingers.
I get the sense, though, that you think this has some crossover effect to next season.
100% I do.
But that's where I completely disagree with you. Because if they were playing great right now, you would be like, this has no bearing on next season. This has no bearing on next season. This is just a moment in time where they were awful. All the stuff that came together for them to suck. I don't think this has an effect on next season.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I said, and we said it. You said it as well. This team's too good. They're just too good, and they're not.
No, but
They're
the
not
problem
too
is,
good.
Kip.
So are they truly tanking? Are they not trying on purpose, or is this kind of who they are a little bit?
Well, I think that is probably the bigger concern, is that not that the team has intentionally orchestrated some, AHL heavy lineup so they could get losses, but rather is this more what they are going into next year? I got to believe, you get.
So a healthy Matthews, a healthy Kristanov.
Well, and you got rid of 3 good players that this summer they're going to have to replace guys, right? They're going to have to get bodies too. Better than, it's not going to be Calle Yarncroc, Luke Hames, Jacob Quillen, and Ryan Twerberg game 1 next year.
Yeah, you could have maybe one of those type of guys fighting for a spot.
Find another,
or something.
Find another Michelli, find another Dakota, right? Find another.
Well, I'm sure Dakota Joshua will probably be a part of it next year, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can look, hey, the Leafs could suck next year. Don't get me wrong. That is a possibility that's on the table. But I'm not just saying that this death march that's been meaningless for all these players who have never been in this situation before. I'm not saying that just because this has happened, it means that they're have no chance next year. That's kind of what I'm getting at. But you seem to feel different.
I don't know. I got to be honest with you. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I am sure I'm looking at a team that just can't end the season fast enough.
Yeah.
Right?
But I guess it's what should they do differently?
Yeah. I don't know. Just look a little better. Look a little invested in your job.
I
to
guess,
what end?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I guess as a fan, you can't have the threat of them be like, oh, they're trying, and you can't middle it. You can't be like, hey, lose good. They just have to lose.
Yeah.
And in fact, had they just pulled the plug earlier, they could be guaranteed to keep a very, very good pick.
The guarantee would have been top 3, right?
Yep.
That's which they're going to finish 2 points out of.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about. Yeah.
1 game different.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
That was atrocious.
Yeah. I mean, just an amazing game. I can't believe they lost. It was one of the crazier games that you can make. It was very exciting. So,
do we want Craig Berube's overall view of the game?
Absolutely.
Clip 2.
Yes, clip 2. Clip 2 from the coach. Oh.
And then we give it. I was disappointed. We get a 3-0 lead, and then we give it back to them that quickly in the second period, just on mistakes, like coverage. They're right there, but we're not close enough, and different things. So, it's disappointing on my end for sure.
Really
we talked about getting a win here tonight, and
we didn't.
It would have been nice, but it didn't happen.
If they lose on Wednesday, they'll have dropped 30 points in the standings. The 78 right now finished the 108 last year.
It's amazing.
I wonder if there's ever been.
Well, 3 of the 4 division winners from last year aren't in the playoffs this year. Caps, Jets, Leafs.
Back-to-back years, the President's Trophy winner will miss the playoffs. It was the Rangers from
Right.
23-24 to 24-25. Jets doing it this year. So I guess free falls do happen on occasion.
Good news from the West Coast. I mean, the Kraken don't get a point against the Kings, but the Kings officially clinched their playoff spot, which means the trade that they made for Lawton at the deadline, the third, becomes the second.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it's great news. It's great news.
Hey, 4% chance that guy plays in the NHL? Take it over.
And the other part of this too, take it over, third rounder,
Nothing.
which is
Third rounder, which
5%.
is drops even more.
Yeah. The other part of this is when you do bottom out, as the Leafs have, your second rounder is higher than if you don't. If you miss the playoffs by 1 point, you're picking middle of that round. So at least you're picking at the front end of the second round with your seconds.
Yeah, and hopefully in
40th or whatever it'll be.
3 or 4 years from now, he's ready.
Yeah.
Come on.
What?
Come on. Oh, yeah. It's like,
Listen,
this team's had no wins all year. And it's just
I
like,
know.
let me downplay this.
But also,
I downplay this.
But
come on.
you
Your
can't
job
get
right now is so
overly.
easy.
You can't get overly excited about a
listen,
third
Kipper,
to a second.
Go
Can you?
ahead. You do it.
Okay,
your
go.
job right now is so easy. You just get to sit there and be like,
They suck.
Like, they're bad. We know.
They're bad.
We don't not know that.
Yes. I listen. It's your energy that keeps me going sometimes.
It keeps the show going, because if we also sat here and they're
Okay.
probably not going to be
All
great.
right.
But if you look,
You guys can talk me into it. I tell my wife all the time, talk me into it. Talk me into it.
well, if you go to their cap wages page and you look at their draft picks, if they're to add a actual pick in the first round this year, get into the bottom, win the lottery, which Kipper is going to make fun of me when it doesn't happen. He's going to be super happy about that.
I'm not, Sammy. I'm going to come over and I'm going to console you.
Right. You're going to be just really consoling me.
Sammy or JB and I will take shifts.
But look at this. This year now, you'll have a round 2. You'll have 2 third rounders. You have a 4th rounder. You have 2 5th rounders. If you could potentially add that first round pick this year, which is a huge if still, don't get me wrong. It's like, that's a draft class.
A full draft
That's
class.
a chance to go in there and pick somebody in the top of the draft, get somebody in the second round. I just hope that who owns the Chiefs is scouting.
Right.
I just hope there's somebody out there looking at who they're going to take or whatever. But it just, it doesn't look quite as bad if they can find it. And next year they still have their own second. They have the Colorado first. They have a second from Columbus. Like, if they can get that first this year, I'm actually not feeling as dire as I have been about the cupboards.
Yeah.
There's actually some beans in the cupboard all of a sudden.
Some dry canned
Some
beans.
beans. Some Heinz.
There I'm with you. Like I said it before, I'll say it again. I'll take a top 5 pick right now just to hang Sammy's hat on. Right?
Yeah.
It'll make Sammy and a few other people feel better.
Well, feel better or not,
Right.
it makes your team better. The sooner you can get someone in, the sooner you can have good players, the better. You want your money now or do you want your money later? Give it to me up front. I'll worry about how to deal with it from there.
Jacob Quillen scores his first NHL goal.
Is his family mad at you?
His brother got mad at me.
Why is that?
Because I said there was a kick. I didn't want them to win. He kicked the puck right in the net.
And
then
he texted
his brother tweeted me and said, "Shut up, Sam McKee."
Oh, boy.
Gotta say, love
Really?
it. Love
First
the
of all,
energy.
great brother.
Good family guy.
Yes.
Love that. Good point.
And he was right and you were wrong?
You didn't think that was a kick?
No.
You're allowed to knowingly redirect the puck into the net.
He's
Stop it.
stopping. He's stopping.
He's stopping. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to wink stop.
JB wants more goals.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yep. I think we should be allowed to throw it in the net for all I care.
Uh,
Why don't we listen to Berube talk
Yeah,
about...
because he weighed in on the Marlies too. So clip 1, please.
Yeah, I was always excited for that and see the young guys. It's fun for them to get in their first NHL goal.
What have you thought, generally speaking, of the Marlies call-ups that you've had this year?
They do some good things. They're not bad. They're like, it's a lot for them, right? It's a lot for the young goalie, coming into the NHL too. And, now you're facing NHL shooters and, you really got to do a good job of being composed in net and tracking the puck and all that stuff. So there's mistakes, but, They're working, they're trying. I thought Villeneuve had another good game. I was happy with Villeneuve's game tonight.
So, how many of these guys do you think can actually contribute to an NHL roster?
I
0
don't
to
know.
1?
I think Hames has a chance to.
Mhm.
I kind of like what his energy.
Quillen. I like
Quillen.
Quillen's
Yeah.
pace too.
Quillen, to me, would have been an easy guy to kind of fit in for David Kemp, back then. So I think there's enough upside for him to think that he could come in and maybe fight for a fourth place spot next year.
Yep.
After that, it is really hard. And, I kind of feel for these guys just a little bit because first of all, you will take
the game.
Any chance to be in a National Hockey League, put on a National Hockey League jersey under any circumstances, and that includes preseason. But it's not the most ideal to come in because, the team sucks and they want to lose. And
you could look at it as a bit insulting, right? Where it's like
it's kind of
we're trying to
it's
lose,
not
so get in there.
ideal that your first NHL game comes because, it's not like, it's ideal. You crack a lineup and you're in game one in the opening of the regular season. Like
you're undeniable, and they think you're part of the
ideal scenario where you went through a 3-week training camp and you beat out of their guys and you won it on heart and merit and all of that. That's the most ideal,
of course.
But now you're watching this team and everybody's telling them to lose and everybody wants to end the season as fast as you can, and now you're going to try to have the best experience of your life, right? It's not ideal. And like I said, you'll take it. It's a weird spot.
Yeah.
The other part,
it's a weird spot.
I think no one has kind of got it worse since Akhtyamov. Because this guy's a legitimate NHL. Like, he just signed a contract.
Not last night he was.
Oh, he was.
Well, but this is
he was horrible.
This is like if you took
horrible.
My son turns 16. He gets his chance, his driver's license. He has to go with the parent, and I took him to the back roads of Italy. And, navigate these on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
It's not a normal situation. No one's playing well. The team's not trying. The D stink.
Yeah. You got to call a tow truck because he put it in the ditch.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Like, give him a chance. Go drive around a parking lot.
Taking him to the Le Mans.
It looked like, I mean, that just doesn't look necessarily ready. Hildeby's had some bad starts too. Yeah. It's going to take his feet wet to get a little bit, more acclimated to NHL, and he's got to mature. He's not ready, but
Akhtyamov.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the way I see him.
It's really tough to get a read on for me. I think that if they thought he was NHL ready, he'd probably be in the NHL. But needs some work.
Yeah, I don't think.
Which leaves them in a interesting predicament when it comes to the goalie situation and who's coming in once again to decide whether or not they're going to take another run at Stolars and Joseph Wall, or they want to try to move one of these kids and
you have to be careful when you move Stolars, though. You have to move them in physical bubble wrap. Be very careful.
Now.
Poor guy, man.
Now.
I feel for him.
Yeah. It is what it is. He's got a fat contract.
He's not trying to do it.
No, but he's got some nice insurance.
That helps.
4-year contract under his belt doesn't hurt.
Yeah, but it's not ideal for the new guy to come in and have to deal with that.
Did you write something new today for Sportsnet?
I did, yeah. There's a buzz once again.
Oh, buzz.
About.
It's got the Twitter all abuzz.
Yeah, I did, Sammy. I did. And, when you're on your third beer tonight, have a peek.
I had a peek when I was on my third sip of coffee.
Okay.
And you think I'd have 3 beers on a Tuesday night? What do you think of me?
Part of it revolves around what's going on around the league when it comes to maybe Vancouver, Nashville, New Jersey, and Toronto's in it as well. I did mention that it didn't appear like the Leafs had made any official call to St. Louis to see Doug Armstrong's situation. That could still come. I don't know, but it really isn't leaning towards Doug Armstrong, Dean Lombardi. Chiarelli wasn't contacted at all, I think, going into at least the weekend or early this week.
So what does that mean to you? What do you make of
Yeah, it means that they're looking for new and fresh and a different way, and I think it matches to what Keith Pelly talked about in his press conference, that they're going to look at things differently, and we don't want to go back to that safety net of another
someone who knows the landscape more?
Landscape kind of guy. Yeah, like a Brad Treliving. And Brendan was quick on Brad Treliving. We know that.
Do you think there's a world where Sonny Maeda gets the job and there's no one above him and he's the dude?
The answer is yes. I do think there might be a world for that, but that doesn't mean that it begins and ends with Sonny. They could still promote people within. They could still go and get someone with some hockey experience at a later date and build around Sonny. But yeah, it could mean that they could just announce one signing right now, and it could fall into that analytical world.
I think one of my bigger fears is just that they don't do the hiring order.
Yeah.
Right? They do the backwards hiring, and you got that whole thing where you got the guy above going, well, I didn't want that guy. He doesn't work with me the way I want him to work with me.
I'm of the personal belief that sometimes the worst thing you could do is attach titles. People want titles.
Sure.
Right? And just get good
Six
people.
AGMs will show you
Get
that.
good people in the organization.
Yeah.
I wish they wouldn't come as a title. They should just say, hey, Sonny Maeda's joining the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, what's he going to do? He's going to do a lot of great things. And then we're going to give him more responsibility. But what's his title? Well, I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
You want don't worry about it.
I've had
all you need
jobs
to
where
know.
I've got to pick my title.
Right?
It's all made
Like
up.
the other
It's like,
thing
we just want
too.
the guy here.
The other thing too is like just look at the Leafs in the past few years. I lost count. How many assistant general managers?
Right now there's 6.
Countless.
But-
six.
Okay,
It's not that high.
Why?
Well, I'll tell you.
Like if I knew they had 3 or 4 already, and they're like, hey, guess what? We're going to make you our 5th. That's when I go, no thanks.
But you're kind of contradicting yourself.
Why do
here,
I
'cause,
want-
Like, they want these people in there regardless.
Yeah.
So who cares what they're called? Like
That's what
they're-
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly
They're
what I'm saying.
directors or.
But don't give me the 5th assistant general manager because you want that title because it makes you feel better about yourself.
Well, and I think there's a lot of people who in hockey where it's sort of unstable hiring, whatever. If it doesn't make a difference to the organization, doesn't cost them any money, they'll say, I want to be able to go to the next place and say, I wasn't the video coach. I actually think my title might have been.
So do you think
coach.
they want it just so they can turn around and have it on their resume?
Yes, of course that's what it is. It's so you can say I was an assistant coach. I was an AGM. I wasn't a director. Those are.
But this
That
is
helps
not.
you with your
This
next
this
job.
isn't corporate America. It's hockey where
No.
people can just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, what did he do in there?
No, right.
Who did he answer
Right
to?"
now, the requirements
I
for
can
this
find
job
that
is
out.
like how many. We want a data-driven guy who's got some AGM experience. Is basically what we know they're looking for.
See, it's a loaded, dumb question because all you
all
need to do is it's semantics. Just pick up the phone
Yeah.
and find out from people that you trust, and this is where your experience comes in. This is where you know people, and go, hey, give me the goods on that guy.
Or you're going to call them. They're going to go, hey, his responsibilities sounded less AGM-y and more directory to me. I disapprove of the labeling of that Like, it's the same thing as you. He was there. He was helping contribute in whatever department. I don't know that it's all. We're kind of making the same point.
Wait.
None of the titles matter.
I just,
Those. Okay, go ahead.
yeah,
Go on.
no, I just, like, to me, if you can get Sonny in your organization and you believe in him and you think he was a big part of, I'm all for stealing good people away from other teams, right? That's good.
Especially the Panthers.
But, what's he need? Does he need the general manager's title? Can he still come and have more responsibility without getting it?
Manager.
So, but just in your piece there, you named those names, right? It's like, is it possible they're just talking to different hockeymen? Like, no disrespect to any of those guys. I mean, Doug Armstrong, I'm not going to lie, I'd be thrilled
Yeah.
about. But the other three that you mentioned there, like I would be pretty devastated if those are the choices for president of hockey ops for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm not going to lie. Like, maybe they're talking to somebody else that we don't know for that role. Like, just because those names haven't been contacted doesn't necessarily mean I think that like I'm panicking about it. You know, they could be talking to other hockey guys, just not those hockey guys.
Mm-hmm. First of all, there's the ones that if you're going to talk to other ones, are they available? Do you have to ask for permission on them? Right?
Yeah.
That's the separation between the two.
What about someone from the NHL?
So, like I told you, it's not uncommon for Keith Pelly to pick up the phone and call the Montreal Canadiens and say, you know, can I talk to Jeff Gordon? And that's not happening because he just re-upped. He's got a brand new contract. You know, Ken Hughes has a brand new contract, but it won't stop you from trying that.
Doesn't it also sound like every time this has come up over the past 10 years, like these jobs open up, they call Gary Bettman and say, Gary, what do you think?
Yeah.
Who do you like? Who do you know? You know, so being tied into the NHL could have some value.
Yep. For sure.
Just the name that I've seen a couple times still, and the one that Bukala mentioned to us, and I've said it before, is Ross Mahoney. The more reading I've done on this guy and the drafting and the way the Caps have looked and the development, there, guy, like that's the name to me that
I think they should absolutely go through the Washington Capitals with a fine-tooth comb and go.
I like the way that goes.
And I'm telling you, they're set up. They are set up. As soon as they
you guys like the team that pursued Rasmus Sandin and Timothy Liljegren?
I do. Okay. I do because there's still it cost them really. It didn't catch it like. Sandin's playing 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he's
like, how did Washington, let me ask you something about Washington. How did they see Jacob Chychrun and nobody wanted him, including the Leafs?
What are you talking about? Nobody wanted Jacob Chychrun.
No.
I was told Steph couldn't shoot. What are we talking about here?
And now he's 25 goals and 60 points.
He was on the Ottawa Senators and doing very well before this, was he not?
They couldn't wait to get rid of him.
What are you talking about? We were doing the whole thing. They had three left wingers. They had Sanderson, Chabot, or left shots. Yeah. They couldn't keep them all. That was the thing.
Would they trade him for Nick?
We do not agree.
I get it. But there was no demand for him, JB. There was no demand.
There should have been. You're right.
There was no demand.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
Well, based on what they got back, you're right. That it wasn't
Nick Jensen in a third.
Yeah.
I mean,
come on. Yeah. They gave him away. You want to trade that guy today?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the vision that
Leafs could have used him.
Washington has.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's a great, listen, they stole him. Yeah. That's a great pickup. No doubt about it. And I like, you like the Sordif one a lot, which I like. You know,
that guy's going to play for 10 years. I think that
Protas
Sordif's going to play for.
They drafted.
Right. Well, he's plus 16.
Yeah.
That guy played, I don't know, 3 or 4 games in Florida. And I don't know if it was on Sonny's watch or not, letting him go or not fighting for him to stay. But that one I think Florida goofed on that one.
I think we can either give Sonny credit for the guys they kept or we can not, which is fine. But then if we're going to blame him for the guys who left, it's like you either have to give him credit and take credit.
Oh, you can do both.
So you
give him credit.
He gets no credit for
the
good
good credit,
stuff,
and then you can
no credit for
rip
the
on
bad
him too,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
It's not one or the other.
As long as we give the credit.
Has he never
for the
seen a
good
contract before, or is he making player decisions? Which is it?
As long as
does he not know how to dial a phone? Or?
I don't know what he recommended.
Yeah.
How's that?
Okay.
I have no idea what he recommended on it.
Okay.
I wonder if
So in a nutshell, it just seems like they're shying away right now. They're not aggressive on that, and I don't know where Mike Gillis sits in all of this.
That conversation seems to have died down a little
Gillis
bit.
feels Tree Living-esque in that, like, his name came up almost immediately.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been other names mentioned.
No. But we'll see.
Okay.
Boys, do I have a...
True or false, they're good questions.
I have a list of questions for you guys. I think 12.
All right.
So if you guys want to hit the break here, and then we'll come back.
All right, you're the boss, buddy.
Thank you.
True and false with Sammy McKee. And then at the top of the hour, Steve Valiquette will join us. Plenty more on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Do not touch a button, a dial, or a knob.
It's been 13 years since my wife and I moved to Toronto, which is a good 10 plus hours from either one of our families. We've loved the city and we love the work too, so turns out that distance has become permanent. We alternate who we see at Christmas, and each summer we try to go both places. That works because there's lots of people who like to see Toronto. A couple years back, we tried hosting our house on Airbnb, and it's funny how it's just become a part of the budget math now. It's like flights are going to be this much, and we know we're going to save that much of it by hosting on Airbnb, and we figure out the rest from there. This year, it's a particularly intriguing option as the FIFA World Cup 2026 is in Toronto, meaning there's going to be no shortage of people looking for a place to stay. We're excited to be around all that energy for the first little bit, but it's also going to be great to be able to get out of the madness too, and to recoup some vacation money at the same time. Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.ca/host.
Welcome back to the program. It's the Leaf Hour edition of the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. True or false, Sammy?
Before we get to true or false, big day for you. Your boy, Landon Sim, got signed by the Leafs today.
Oh,
2-year
right.
contract. Yeah. Next year. Starting next year.
Oh, my God. I would have liked to have seen him out here in the last week.
Tries too hard.
Tries too hard? Okay.
He would wake everybody up. We don't need the wake-up call.
Good.
But this guy, I mean, just so people know who he is, 30 goals for the London Knights, and you say led them in scoring.
A little undersized, but he makes up for it. Big heart.
100-plus PIM.
30 goals and 100 PIMs in his final year with the Knights when they won the championship. Played on the same team as Easton Cowan, Denver Barkey, Sam Dickinson.
Son of the great John Sim, who shout out.
So there's a lot of terms that get thrown around a lot in hockey that I love, but my favorite term and the best thing I think you can be called in hockey is a nail gun, and Landon Sim's a nail gun. He's the type of guy that, small guy, will go into any battle. This is
You know what else I like? He's a hockey player.
You need to develop grit. You can't try to sign grit. You got to develop it. And that's what they're doing.
Looking forward to a couple of suspensions next year.
For sure. Anyways.
I'm in.
So anyways, let's do true or false, okay? Where do we want to start?
That's a good start right there.
I got 13
Big
good
sigh.
ones. I got 13 good ones. I don't know where to start. Okay, I'll go with this one. True or false? The Leafs goaltending duo next year will be Joseph Woll and Anthony Stolarz.
I'm going to say the opposite of Kip, which is true. I'm going to say you're not going to have someone in here making decisions till, I don't know, May, something like that. And I just think, they've been pretty good. Doesn't feel like anyone's going to take Stolarz. You're almost better just to see what they got. Kip?
Yeah, I'm going to say false.
Okay.
And I just think the body's talking, and I'm not sure what Stolarz is going to be willing to try to do in terms of coming back yet again and trying. But, you see the last injury that he went down with. That's concerning. Really concerning. I think the body's talking to him.
The definition of non-contact.
Well, that's just playing the position.
Yeah. But
So, what do you think they'd do with
he's
him?
not going to
I don't know.
just stop playing hockey, though.
I think
they have a contract with him.
I don't know. I have no idea where he is with his head and what he thinks his body's capable of doing or not doing. He had already suffered major injuries, major surgeries.
He had a loose body in his knee.
I don't know. I mean,
Right.
does he reassess his future? And I'm not telling you I know anything, but anytime you're over 30 and your body starts breaking down, you got some decisions to make.
My body's in shambles. Kip.
I can't even walk.
My first physio appointment next week for a non-contact back injury.
I just booked an acupuncture appointment for my ankle today.
And that includes Chris Tanev, by the way, too, right? Chris Tanev, too. Don't tell me he's not sitting there trying to ask himself questions on where I am at and, how much more I can take and how much I'm willing to put out there. And all indications is, he's going to rehab real hard here and get his body as best shape as he can. He's going to come back and hopefully pick up where he was at the top of his game. But you suffer maybe another one or another situation. And
That's it.
Yeah, it's enough.
I think my only comment on the Tanev thing, aside from he is walking around the beach, I can confirm that.
As you look.
Looking good.
Good.
Is that 6 years seems unlikely.
Yeah.
6 years.
Oh, thanks,
Whoa, careful on that limb you're out on there, brother.
buddy. Hey, how about till next December?
Yeah.
How's that look for you?
It's more stable than 6,
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Good to hear.
Well, this is perfect. Perfect transition to the next question here. True or false? 3 of the 6 Leafs full-time defensemen will be back next season. Riley, Carlo, Tanev, McCabe, Benoit, all of Ekman-Larsson.
Oh, absolutely true.
3?
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
You sure about that?
McCabe?
McCabe for sure.
McCabe for sure.
OEL.
OEL for sure.
Carlo for sure.
And Carlo will be opening day roster.
So
Those 3 for sure.
that leaves Morgan Riley. Well, Tanev will be in.
Yeah. So
Morgan twisting in the wind a little bit here.
Yep.
Benoit's
twisting.
Yeah.
Not a great year for old Benoit.
You don't think there's a world where Carlo or McCabe or one of these other guys?
Yes, there is. Again, new guy.
Yeah.
Hello, new guy. What do you think? But you're trying to make the playoffs next year too.
Sure are. I think if you run the fancy numbers and you're a data guy and you pull up Benoit,
Here's the data guy.
"Oh."
Go find another Carlo at that price.
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
There's your data. It costs $3
That's
million.
all the data you need.
Yeah.
And I'm no Sonny.
let's get this guy. I
Share over
pray
here.
Sonny gets hired
This
because
show's
what
going
it
to
will
be a
be
mess if they
what
hire
it will do
Sonny.
for our show if he gets hired. Perfect. True or false? Sonny Maida will be working for the Leafs this offseason.
I just think it's less likely than likely.
So you're saying false?
I'm gonna be
True or
data centric on this. It's I'm gonna say false. And I want it to happen. I'm in favor of it happening.
I'll say false. I think he stays in the States.
Yeah. The States is very vague. With
Devils?
Florida,
Devils.
the Devils are reaching out to data people for sure. So they're gonna get a data E guy.
Okay.
The Devils.
The numbers.
The number. Okay, so Austin Matthews, seen yesterday at Scotiabank Arena.
Exciting.
Buddy, they must have listened to our show and be like, we got to get him out there on
Got to
crutches.
get him out
We got to
there.
roll him out
Gotta
there.
get him out
Good. I
there.
liked his outfit last night.
They gave
Did you?
away season tickets.
Yeah.
Season tickets. Do we know where they are, the seasons?
Buddy, whatever it
Platinum?
is,
They're not
it's
down
better than
by,
what
they're
he
not down by
Hey,
Gibby. I don't think.
wherever they are, they're better than what he had before.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Right?
Very true.
But I don't really recall ever. I don't know. Maybe they have done it, but I don't ever recall hearing giving away season tickets.
They're reaching out to the
They're
fan base.
reaching. That's exactly what it is. They're
You,
trying.
you still got seasons?
I do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You want to take us sometime?
Are you ruined financially after this year trying to get
Yeah,
rid of
but
those?
it's
the only
not
reason he
cheap,
had to come
buddy.
back and do radio.
Hey, it ain't cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't cheap. I
You
can
get
tell
to
you
pay
that.
people to go by the end of it. All right. So the reason I brought that up is because he was seen. True or false? Austin Matthews will sign another contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, geez, these are heavy.
False.
False.
I don't need to say heavy.
That's an easy false for you.
Yeah, it's an easy false for me. With 2 years left on his deal, if I had to put money on it right now, I don't see him re-upping.
Yeah, so I'm having a tough time with this one because I think
true.
typically it's tough. Like once you're somewhere, your roots are down. If the team they turn around, they look pretty decent. I could see him signing a short deal to keep her going here. So I'm kind of on the fence, but I can't deny the fact that I do kind of feel like it's false. Like I don't know. Where are you at?
I think true. I think that everybody just feels like they want to have the take that he wants to leave without him ever saying that he wants to leave. And
Right.
without everything that he ever says is that he likes it here. And if they don't suck flat out, which is a possibility, I don't know why he wouldn't potentially sign here.
You know, I think there is.
Does he like being a star? Like,
well,
does he
and
like
that's the
being
thing is this is kind of the place. If you want to be the dude, he seems to like being the dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just
Wanna
got to be
sit
good
here
enough.
and-
Like, I just don't think it's that crazy. Everyone's just
I
like,
don't
he's
either.
gone.
I don't
he's
either.
gone.
I'm legit like
Add to your records. You built something here.
yeah.
And do you want to see it through? Do you want to try to see it through? But
I might
he's
take
got
True.
to.
I think I'm a sign me up for True.
He's
too, man.
he's got to.
Sign me up for True.
A lot of things have to turn for him, in my mind,
It's
to
just a
resign.
team, right? Just the team to me. They need to play good. I don't think that he loved this coaching experience. You know, Sheldon Keefe was the coach before Craig Berube, and the only thing I can tell you in my experience with him is he is hyper diligent about what you take to the team has to be perfect if you're going to ask for perfection out of them. I mean, commas. Keefe was.
Yeah.
Commas, details, system, structure. Like you didn't go in front of the dressing room without
Dialed in.
dialed in.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's been like that the last couple of years. I don't think it's been as tight. And I think you would sense that if you're in the dressing room.
You think if they let Berube go, they go to him and he helps pick a coach?
No, you can't do that.
I'm just asking.
You can't do that.
Do you? I don't.
If
I think you have to have
if-
enough trust
They
in
may
him.
go, would you be okay with this guy?
I'll tell you what, if I'm ownership or Keith Pelly or whoever the new guy's coming in, and it's like this time next year we got to get this guy signed, I could see it where he has a say.
Where you just go, hey, we just need to make sure you don't hate the idea of this
If
guy.
they really want him to stay, you can kind of say, well, you can't not sign next July when, you kind of, we got your guy.
This is the Chris Knobloch hire. They're like, Brian Matthews, the new coach of the Leafs.
Judd Moldover behind the bench.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Didn't they try that? Who did they?
VC.
They put his dad in the
Yeah, they
scouting?
hired VC's dad.
Which he may be an excellent scout. I don't know anything.
but
about
then
that,
it was
but-
remember the vanilla comment with Keefe during the
Right?
thing, and then
What do you think's going on in New Jersey with the Hughes family? Think they get
Hughes' mom going to be the coach?
think the boys aren't involved with, potentially having some feedback in what they might want to see?
Can I steal a true false? Not about the Leafs.
Yes.
If Fitzgerald makes a trade for Quinn Hughes, he's still the GM
True.
of the Devils.
True. Totally
Yeah?
true. Because they're better, and they
Yeah.
have the Hughes 3, right?
The
What do you
Hughes
think?
trio.
Yeah, I think a lot of that went on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, just back to the quick Matthews coaching thing. If you're hiring somebody, if you're Pelly and you're putting whoever in charge, whether it be Maida or whoever they're going to put in charge, I think you have to put the trust in them to find the right coach that you think is going to work the best with Matthews. Like, I think you can talk to him clearly. Like, you can have a phone call with him, but you can't be like, hey, we're going to hire Manny Malhotra, but he wants David Carl. So we're going to go, is it David Carl from Denver?
Yeah,
We
Denver.
can't, so we're going to go that direction. And we're going to pay. Like, I think you can take his input, but you can't make the decision on what he says, because that's just doing what you've always done here and empowered them way too much.
David Carl coming in somewhere in the
Yeah, I mean,
NHL.
that guy's a
all they
dynamo.
do is win.
Could he do it
So-
in Toronto? Like, I don't know. It's
So
a big
like
league.
a guy like Sonny now, if he comes in and he's the general manager, now he's got to find a coach, and like is there any computer that you can plug information to spit something out on that?
So dumb, Kip.
No, come on.
Like, he doesn't have a brain. He
Would
just
he know Matthews enough to know what he thinks he might need?
That's, I think if you
totally
look,
fair question.
I think if you looked at, like, this is maybe for you more, but like looked at what his analytics, how they grade out, and the type of system that a coach has may work together. Is that something?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it works best in a
Yeah.
sister. He had more success
Where he doesn't have
doing
to dump
this
it in
under
every
Keefe
time?
and- yeah.
But that,
More-
I mean, that's I was being a smart ass before, but that's a legitimate question. It's
I
like,
imagine,
how does a
yeah.
guy like that come in now and then go to Matthews, who he's never met before, or maybe he has, but like, I'm not sure how closely he's watched him, and go, this might be more your style.
I think what we heard from Keith Pelly is he wants someone to be able to justify the decisions he makes. So if you got a GM that says, look, he worked better when he played this system under him instead of this season under him, this coach likes to play that system, that's why I like this coach, you have done the thing Keith Pelly has asked you to do. So, yeah, I think that could happen.
Okay, couple more here. True or false? If the Leafs get the first overall pick, they'll select Gavin McKenna.
False.
Oh, so you think they'll reach on a defenseman, or they trade it?
I think they want Chase Reed.
Yeah, that's who I want, but it's just such a gamble to reach that hard for the first overall pick.
I wish McKenna played center.
Yeah.
That's what
So
ultimately they need somebody to come in. If Matthews is going to be around for another year or two, they're going to have to find something behind him. And that's not to take away that John Tavares found a way to still look like John Tavares pretty much his whole career, that 70 or 80 point guy. But
I can't believe he got there again.
you can't
It's crazy.
listen, he's really good at collecting cookies,
Yeah,
right? He
he's
is.
really good at hockey.
He's really good.
Yeah, Gavin McKenna could be new Marner for him, just dishing for Matthews.
I think they've true serum. The ideal scenario is they get the third overall pick.
Yeah.
Where somebody else makes the decision for them, and then they kind of get the. If you talk me into second, but
Chase
the third-
Reed's going to be really good.
You like him more than that Verhoff?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't know. I've seen more of Chase than I have Verhoff, who might be maybe the next Eric Johnson.
Yeah, I think that's probably a really good comparable. Great career.
Yeah, Eric Johnson. He's the guy. He's doing interviews right now with half his shirt
40.
unbuttoned. Right?
Is he?
Oh, but he looks like a movie star. He should be interviewing guys.
Guess what? He's on our show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yes, he is. Awesome. Last one. True or false? Leafs will be in the playoffs next year.
Yeah, I don't have them back.
I got to be the
I think
believer on
there's
the show. True.
I think there's going to be some growing pains again. There's going to be some regrouping that I don't think 12 months will be enough.
I think it's interesting, to go back to the Matthews question. If they show promise in direction, is that enough? All right, they get a high pick. Next year is a lot better. They're competing for a playoff spot. It looks like things, they make a trade for someone else, and all of a sudden I wonder if that would be enough direction, like still miss playoffs, but sell a direction. I'll say true.
I think he needs to make some pretty quick decisions.
Well,
And I only say that because the other thing going against Austin that isn't necessarily going against other ones is his we don't know what's going on with his body. Mm-hmm. Is it starting to break down? Is he just now that guy that can't stay healthy? And if that's the case, he's going to want to re-up as fast as he can. He may want to sign as early as next year. If he can glue together 60, 70 games, then he'll have no problem getting traded and signing a max deal of 7 years.
well, why wouldn't you just sign the 7 years here?
Whatever the case is, you want to lock it in. If that guy's staring at another 45 games and another 25 or 30 goal season, that puts the 7 years in jeopardy.
No way. No way.
Have you paid attention to the last 3 years?
I think it would.
I think somebody would sign him. Maybe not the Leafs, but I still think there's a team out there that's like, oh, Austin Matthews, we can fix him. We take a chance. Like, they're give him 7 years. He's been one of the premier players in the league. He's on a higher goal pace than Ovi.
I'm talking about another year that mirrored the last two, Sam.
Yeah,
Okay?
I still think someone
3 consecutive years where he can't stay healthy. And I want to meet the general manager that says, I got no problem signing him to 7 years with my owner's money.
Yeah, we disagree. It's fine. We've done that plenty.
Yep.
There we go. There's true or false, boys.
We do not agree.
Beautifully done.
Thank you.
Looking for you. Those are excellent. And the big questions that do loom over the franchise. Yeah, this year, 60 games for Matthews, 67 the year before.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else?
I mean, we're going to have Valley up coming up here.
Valley coming up. Your boy, Marner,
Yeah.
has they got 1 game left
Yeah, what's going on there in
get
Vegas?
to a point per game. He's one below.
Seriously, just Tortorella comes in and now they're like one of the favorites now in the Western Conference.
Yeah, and they're
That's
gonna
simple.
Yeah, and they're gonna boat race whoever they get in the first round, whatever West wildcard team.
It's almost like a coaching change works.
Yeah,
It's almost like you can be a better team with a
Yeah.
different coach.
You think Marner's at a point of games disappointing?
Yeah, for sure, right?
Totally.
He's 100 points last year.
Yeah.
Signed a big ticket free agent deal.
Yeah.
$12 million?
I just wonder, like, if Cassidy, right? Was that the difference?
Didn't work for him. They played him a lot. I still think he had a very good year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. But
Who are they shaping up to play?
probably Utah.
Utah?
Yeah.
Utah could be sneaky.
Utah be a handful.
Knights and
You'd rather play Anaheim in the middle game.
Knights and
5 either way.
Knights
All
and
right.
5 twice.
Sammy, nice job on the true and false, my friend.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Really good stuff. All right. Steve Valiquette. When we return, we go national on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show.
It's been 13 years since my wife and I moved to Toronto, which is a good 10 plus hours from either one of our families. We've loved the city and we love the work too, so turns out that distance has become permanent. We alternate who we see at Christmas, and each summer we try to go both places. That works because there's lots of people who like to see Toronto. A couple years back, we tried hosting our house on Airbnb, and it's funny how it's just become a part of the budget math now. It's like flights are going to be this much, and we know we're going to save that much of it by hosting on Airbnb, and we figure out the rest from there. This year, it's a particularly intriguing option as the FIFA FIFA World Cup 2026 is in Toronto, meaning there's going to be no shortage of people looking for a place to stay. We're excited to be around all that energy for the first little bit, but it's also going to be great to be able to get out of the madness too, and to recoup some vacation money at the same time. Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.ca/host.
Let's get her going from coast to coast. We are national on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. We are live on Sportsnet, Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver. 960 in Calgary and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. If you miss our program, download us. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Bless you, Sammy.
Thanks, man.
I'd like people to know that Nick Kypreos has never sneezed on the air in 25 years.
Thank you.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's the vomit streak from Seinfeld.
Technically, I wasn't on air until Kyper brought it up. So.
I sneeze once a week.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Dusty in here. Dust everywhere. I don't know how you don't sneeze.
Something tells me if it ever happens,
Oh, it's going to be a big
you'll
thing.
be the first to know about it.
We need to have like confetti in here or something.
This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. In a couple of minutes, we'll welcome in Steve Valiquette, analyst for the New York Rangers on MSG, CEO Clearsight Analytics, and game host of Grill Marks.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's our segment called?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it's become.
Grill time, grill something. He's promised us a steak dinner to the winner.
Grill Marks leaderboard. He tweeted it out at 428. In first, Justin Bourne with 41 points. In second, Nick Kypreos with 35, and Sam McKee in third with 34 points.
Ooh, you're knocking.
Yeah, right there.
Before we get to Valley and we discuss a lot of teams around the league, let's just talk about last night because we know who's in and we know who's out. There's still some question marks on who plays where, but for the most part, I am a little disappointed that game 82 couldn't be the difference between someone getting in and out.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Flyers solidified their playoff spot last night in a shootout. I kind of watched that game more than Sammy's Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you?
And Vladar was really good.
Yeah. That's going to
Really
be
good.
a real. By the way, that I was doing my NHL award votes last night, so I had the Leafs game on mute behind me, and every time I looked up, Dallas was scoring. It was just an incredible onslaught. 98 points could be the cutoff for playoffs in the East this year, which is pretty crazy. 96 if Philly loses their last game, and the West is going to be very different. 89 gets you in. What a weird year.
Flyers for a second here. Just your overall thoughts on what Rick Tocchet was able to do and the decision to leave Vancouver and go to Philadelphia, where I don't think anybody expected him to be one of 16 teams this weekend.
And even more than that, I think halfway through the year, there was noise about the job he was doing. Michkov's not playing enough. People were upset. And all of a sudden, he's like a Jack Adams candidate. I look at that roster, and I don't think it's that great. I give Tocchet a ton of credit. Everyone seems to have bought in. And again, they're not sneaking into playoffs with a low number of points. I mean, they've won a lot of hockey games here. So, yeah, I give them a lot of credit for what they've built there. And also,
Vladar, a huge part of it.
Vladar, a huge part of it. Goaltending does make a big difference. So one of the things I was tempted to write about, the Eastern goaltending, and actually Valley coming up is perfect. I mean, how different it is. You got Vasilevsky and Bussi. You got Jeremy Swayman and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. You know, like these guys who...
Bussi was good, too, last night.
Well,
too.
yeah, but they may not even play him. It could be Freddie. It could be Kochetkov.
Dobish.
He's back now. Dobish is a rookie who's, not really experienced at it. And they just got, there's a lot of guys with big names. Linus Ullmark has won a Vezina, and he'll be Ottawa's guy. Like, we're all over the map here.
All right, let's go to the host of Grill Marks, Steve Valiquette.
We need merch. We need Grill Marks merch.
You need one of those really slender microphones when you do Grill Marks, because I notice our boy David Amber, they go into a game kind of host look.
Right. Yeah, I don't get why those exist, but they do.
I like, yeah, exactly. What purpose do they serve?
Are they heavy to hold a normal mic? I don't understand. But anyway.
Well, Borney, I just heard you say it's a weird year. How about this one, guys? I just came up with this one because I was looking at stuff all day long. The goalies that aren't in the playoffs this year: Shesterkin, Sorokin, Hellebuck, Saros, Binnington, Bobrovsky, Thompson. Like, these are all the top guys.
Yeah.
What a weird year.
Is this like when the NFL decided that running backs don't matter? Like, is it like goalies? Whatever now? Like,
I'm out of work. What am I doing?
So it turns out they do matter, by the way.
off the top of your Knicks hat, what does that say?
Oh boy.
Like it doesn't matter until it matters.
Is it more environment than it is the product of what goalkeeper you have that saves your ass? Like, I don't know, because not for anything, these guys didn't even have bad years. Most of them. I mean, Shesterkin had a really good year. Sorokin was almost a Vezina winner. Soros bounced back. Thompson was the best goalie by the end of the season in expected goals, and he still didn't get it. So I'm going to have to put some more thought into this.
Okay.
This literally just dawned on me like 30 seconds before we came on air.
So are we back to the cross ice pass on top of the circles? Because you've talked about that all season long.
Yeah. You know, I maybe it's just that, maybe that's just it. Like a goalie can only do so much. And depending on who you're playing for, when you're playing for them, and all the things that factor into it, maybe we're getting to a point where the scoring's getting so strong and the shots on goal are so by design not to keep goalies in the game. And it's hard for good goalies to get hot because they're not getting touches and then they're feeling grade A's. So it's, again, the year's strange. Look at the save percentage. Last week it went to 895. It's 896. But a lot of really good goalies not being able to hit the mark. And, you know, I think it's a strange year for sure.
Okay, so for the remaining goalies that are in, excluding, I guess, Vasilevsky, who has the most pressure out of the remaining ones? Can we look at Ottawa potentially as a guy that's carrying a lot of weight right now?
I would say definitely Ottawa, Kyper, just because of past performance. And anybody will tell you the only indicator of future performance is past performance. Ullmark in the playoffs, guys, he's been in 4 years that he's played the playoffs in 860, 896, 886, 880. And his 633 save percentage on high danger chances is the second worst when you look at those 4 years combined. Every year he's in a series that he's played in, he's been less than 3 goals than expected, which would mean he is less than an average goalie. And I think that if you're going to allow more goals on high danger chances than the player that you are playing against that's 200 feet away, you lose in the playoffs because the margins are way too thin. But I mean, getting them in and what he's been able to accomplish over the last, I guess, 6 weeks where he's been playing his best hockey, with the exception of the Florida game, you can maybe have some hope and maybe wonder, but I think that it could come crashing down at any moment. He only has played 37% positive game percentage in the playoff games he's played in his career. The likelihood of him playing really well are very low probability.
So, Valley, if I'm looking at the goaltenders in the East, to me, they're just so different in terms of reputation. Let me know if you think any of these guys give a team a massive disadvantage or advantage. You got Ullmark, Swayman, Vladar, Skinner, Bussy, Dobish, Vasilevsky, Luukkonen.
I would focus on Montreal.
Okay.
They're fascinating to me. I've watched the last 5 starts of Dobish and the last 5 starts of Fowler. Dobish is playing out of his mind. And Fowler, did you watch the game that he played against the Islanders?
Yeah.
How good did you think he looked?
He looks very good.
He looks very good. He looks like Carey Price good. He's on his toes. He's over everything. Yeah. No, I mean, he plays the part. Perfect technical representation of modern goaltending.
Wow.
And you know, the one thing I would say, guys, is that when you go back, even over the last 30 plus years, it's happened before where young goalies have won Stanley Cups. Patrick Waugh was 20 when he won his first Stanley Cup. Dryden was 23. Matt Murray, when he won in 2016, was just 22. Cam Ward was 22 when he won with Carolina in 06. Binnington was 25, but he was a young 25. He just got called up in 2019. If you have the right insulation around top performing, confident goalies, you have a chance. Dobish, guys, since the Olympics, 11-4-0, 920 save percentage, a +11 expected, third best in the NHL. Fowler, +7 expected. Both goalies in the top 10. There's a lot here, boys. Fowler, .918 save percentage. These are both top 10 goalies since the Olympic break in every category. And you watch these guys play, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. Fowler, to me, the reason why I say that he has that perfect representation is because his feet are always under him, always secure, never getting too wide and spread out, never getting stuck on the pass, always hovering over the puck. And I feel like he's been good for Dobish because 2 months ago, Dobish was in the tank. And one of the goalies I coach here in Connecticut, his favorite team is Montreal. And I did at least a 2-day review on Dobish just to show him what he needed to adjust. And this was just a part of working with a goalie that was playing wide in his stance because he watches Dobish a lot. Like, this happens. And what I've seen is he's brought his feet under him at least another foot. They made a goaltending coaching change, as the Islanders did, and it seemed to do something there as well. And you know, you don't know what it's like behind closed doors, but those two guys have a different look right now. They look elite to me.
You're watching and listening to Steve Valiquette, analyst with the New York Rangers, CEO of Clear Sight Analytics. Our poor Sammy almost choked when you said that Montreal could win the Stanley
Everything
Cup.
about Montreal is just going right, and it just hurts to hear
know,
them. Pain.
Where are you on Vasilevsky really having a bounce back kind of spring?
Yeah, you know what, Kyper, for Vasilevsky, I think that he knows that he has to be better through traffic coming in from the point. The scouting report on him for the last 3 years is going to be get traffic on him. And what teams are trying to accomplish as they slide the blue line is to break the midpoint of the blue line and then send the puck back across the grain through a screen. And against a big goalie like Vasilevsky, he still tends to have his head a little bit high, meaning his chin high, so the puck comes underneath his point of vision. And what happens is he comes down to the ice with all of his force, and he's like coming down like a ton of bricks. And then his knees get apart, and then he's swimming a little bit. And if the puck hits the end boards or if it hits the pile of traffic on the weak side post, it's hard for him to make second and third saves. So I think that if he understands where his strengths lie and how to play those advantages or disadvantages that the opposition is trying to create in front of him, he'll be okay. But it'll be interesting to see how he manages his net front traffic.
Be curious to get your thought on some who should they start. We can start with Pittsburgh. Shvilovs or Skinner? Who you like there? Shvilovs.
Yeah, she loves. The thing about Pitt guys, they've always been really bad defensively off the rush. The last 5 years, they are always the worst team. And I've talked to you guys many times about the challenges for goaltenders off the rush. Now, since the Olympic break, they have the 5th best defense overall and 4th best rush defense. So they've really tightened it up since the Olympic break. But the goalies haven't been any better. Skinner, I went back to February 1st. He has 4 wins. He has 10 losses. He has a save percentage of .854 in February. In March, .885, .885 in April. And the funny thing is, though, is Shilovs, he's winning games, but he's winning when the team scores 5 or more goals. In every one of his wins, they are averaging right now 5.8 goals per game that he has started since February 1st. His last 9 wins, Pittsburgh scored 53 goals.
Wow.
And on his losses, he's getting hammered 5-1, 6-2, 6-2, 6-3. So as good as Pittsburgh has been, they haven't had the goaltending yet, but they have the environment taken care of. So I'm expecting one of those two guys to step up. They've protected Stu Skinner against the rush, and that's all Edmonton ever had to do with him. And Pittsburgh's doing it. They're making the environment easy. The goalies haven't responded yet. One of those two guys has to step up, or maybe they can go to Murashev, who's a very good goalie that's played for them at parts of the season, as well as in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton.
Let me ask you, in terms of now, if you think that you may have a number one starter, but the 1B is starting to play pretty darn good here. And I'll use Minnesota as an example, the Wild, where Wallstead has actually been pretty good down the stretch. But you got Gustafsson. And just how important is it for a head coach, Valley, to pick the right one? Not necessarily who's playing the best, but if it's not Gustafsson, who's the highest paid guy there, and a guy who's got a long-term contract, is it a bad message to send that you're not my guy in game one, and you're kind of have doubts on me already? Is that a bad seed to plant?
See, my theory is the other way. It's don't play the guy that everybody expects you to play because of pedigree and tenure. Think about Grubauer starting over Holtby when Washington won. It pisses Holtby off. He's a competitor. If you know Braden Holtby, the guy wants to be in the net. And if you have a guy like that wants the net, it's okay to piss him off for a couple games. Because guess what? If Grubauer that year gets off to a hot start for 2-3 games, it just prolongs the inevitable. We're going to go to you, Holtby, but it's going to be a little bit here. And you saw it with Pittsburgh during the years where it was Marc-Andre Fleury and Murray. There's enough runway there for, I think, you to actually start the guy that everybody thinks that you shouldn't, because when he fails, the other guy that should have possibly started comes in with a cape on. But obviously it's got to be, something that you're seriously thinking through, because in Holtby's case in 2018, he really needed a little bit more time to prepare for the playoffs. He got an extra week and a half of reps. When he went in, he took off. But that can work for you and to your advantage if you have the right approach and you communicate it to the guy. But if you have a goalie that gets really pissed off and plays better pissed off, I think you always have to use that lever.
So what about a team that's going to win the Eastern Conference, like Bussy, Anderson, or Kochetkov is getting healthy and practicing right now, apparently?
I'd be really worried if I was Carolina right now. The two teams that I thought from the outset of the season that didn't defend well enough off the rush that was ultimately going to break down their goalies was Anaheim and Carolina. Both teams just give up way too much off the rush, and both teams have, to a certain degree, taken a lot of the confidence out of their goaltending. It's really difficult math every night. And it's really difficult with the trust systems that you have with your defensemen to know what's taken away. The goalie is reading off of the positioning of his teammates, not what the offense is going to do. And in both cases, the floodgates have opened now, and I thought that we were going to see it sooner in the season, but it's really been since post-Olympic break. And both teams, I think, are in trouble. And Bussy, he's the worst performing goalie since the Olympics. Frederik Andersen, I think the last time I looked was 5th or 6th worst performing goalie since the Olympics. But Carolina's got a great team. They've got a lot of puck possession in their favor. They can have a lot of offensive zone time while their goalies aren't facing a lot, and then have the threat of an odd man rush. Yeah. Those are the toughest saves in hockey. But if we had a poll with 100 goalies right now and said, what's the biggest challenge about playing in the NHL? They would say not getting any shots and then facing a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
That's tough. And I feel like it's just taken a little bit of time, but that was ultimately going to happen.
Valley, I want to touch on a few markets that didn't make it, missed the playoffs, and whether or not they're behind the scenes pointing fingers at their goaltending situation. And I'd love for you to start in Detroit on the disappointment of the Red Wings leading the division, I think, in the 3rd week in January and then missing out. And what ultimately does that mean for a guy like Gibson?
This one, I think that Detroit has to be very careful that they don't overthink it, overanalyze it, or place blame in the wrong places, because that could happen here. Since the Olympic break, the goalie that has allowed the most goals when his team has been up by a goal is John Gibson. Now, there were 4 key losses during the time that Detroit could have solidified their position in the postseason. It was a loss on March 10th versus Florida. They led twice in that game, and then 2 goals came back against Gibson, ones that I thought he should have had. I paid a lot of attention to the game March 21st. It was a game on ESPN. I watched it at home here against Boston. Same thing happened. They led twice in the game, and he gave up bad goals, leads to a loss. Same thing happened April 7th against Columbus, where the team led twice, and then 3 times April 11th against the New Jersey Devils. I watched all of these goals, guys. There was a common theme. He was on his ass. He was lifting up his one pad as he's coming across on his knees when he could have came across on his feet. It was through screens. There wasn't a lot of battle there. If I was on the bench, I would have said, we need a save there. We're up. The worst part about this is that his save percentage should have been .909. He had the easiest environment when his team was up by a goal, and he had the worst save percentage, .833. Now, what that tells you is that there's a guy here that's had a lot of history. Go back to Anaheim. There were years there where I always wondered, why isn't he leaving Anaheim? They're not winning. They're not in a winning cycle. His age doesn't fit where they are, and he stayed. And I wonder if the pressure when the team is up is too much for him. And I think that if Detroit takes a very educated look at this, you change the goalie and you change a few things around the edges, but it's not as bad as people may seem.
That's an interesting one for Yzerman too, right? He made that call. That's a big decision that they went with this year. So curious to watch that. Now, looking at the West, part of me is like, okay, one of these specific teams is going to make it to the conference final. Vegas has been hot since Torts has been there. It really comes down to, can they get the saves? Can they?
Vladar can, Bourne, but the one thing that, Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. Yeah.
Vegas. Vegas, well, right now we're seeing Carter Hart play really well. Is that Tortorella?
Just Tortorella comes in and they have that history?
There was a history of, yes, of course. When he was in Philadelphia, he played probably his best hockey when Torts was behind the bench. Torts makes you want to play for him. And that's always a positive, especially when you're a goalie. Does Torts want to be liked and respected? No, he doesn't, but he wants to be respected. And I think as a player, you get a lot of value off of getting respect from him. And he can make you play hard for him. And in short bursts, before he offends you, you have a lot of time for him. So, I can see it going really well for him. I can. He's a highly talented goalie. There was a time that people thought that he was the next Carey Price, and he had the pedigree. Now, he's had a lot of things going on in his life, but to where he is right now, if he's able to get his mental and mind space in the right frame of mind, he could be an effective goalie, yes.
Just one more for me when it comes to, again, the mindset of putting weight on a maybe a guy that hasn't experienced it as much as others. Columbus, they're all crushed. All those fans are absolutely crushed. Jet Greaves had an amazing season, 54 games, but did the weight get a little too heavy for him to close this thing out?
The one thing that we've seen here, Kyper, is that there's no small goalies in the playoffs this year.
Is that
everybody's got a big guy in net. All the undersized goalies are out this year. And I think from what I've seen in our data, Bourne, that really hurts the smaller guys is screens and broken plays at net front. Defensemen are smarter than ever to not shoot from the point if they have a clear lane to the net. They're shooting off net more. And when you shoot off net, you're getting all that crap off the pile of players. And it's really difficult when a goalie doesn't have length, meaning wingspan, to be able to make up for and get an extra couple of inches when they need it on a stretch save. And trying to get across the crease is an extra challenge, especially when you don't see it clean all the way in because the bodies are in front of you. And I feel like now players are more willing to stand net front for a couple of reasons. They're not getting whacked the way they used to. And defensemen now are almost never taking slap shots. It's safer because the trust is there between net front and the defenseman. And we're seeing scoring rates go up and save percentage drop because net front's going in more frequently. From the Olympic break to the end of the season, Jet Greaves gave up 11 goals through screens. You know, that ranks him near the bottom in the NHL. He got killed through screens. Smaller guy. I love his game. He plays an amazing game, but there are limitations to size. Columbus could not have played better defensive hockey from the time that Bowness took over to now. You don't get any better than that. The best team defending off the rush, the best team at 5-on-5, defensive zone structure, top 10. This was a team that was built to get in, but they couldn't protect around the front of their net in a way that almost they would have to initiate more block shots at the point and be more aggressive to not let those sifters through.
Ellie, last one for me is just about general managers this summer. And when they're looking at goaltenders to bring in, you'll hear people and see that on Twitter, and it kind of makes me a little crazy because it can't possibly be true, but they say goaltending is voodoo, right? We don't know who's any good. Just sign someone because we got no idea who's a good goaltender. How valuable would someone like yourself be, or someone? Surely there's more to it than voodoo and figuring out who's going to be decent.
And don't call him Shirley.
Fair.
You know, I think a big piece of this, Bourne, is finding out where the goalies have played this past season that have had a down year, because those are the easiest ones to attract to your team. It's not going to be easy for somebody to get, let's just say, Devin Cooley away from Calgary because they also have Wolf. But if you could, that's where you'd go. Okay. If you want to go for a top guy that's capable of handling more of a load, and he's a big guy, and he moves like a small guy, I have a lot of time for Devin Cooley.
Noted.
Now, on the flip side of that, there are goalies that have won before that are having down years. Okay, Jordan Binnington, right? Do you know where I think Jordan Binnington's going to land next year? Florida.
Oh my God.
I think he's going to.
So where's Bobrovsky?
I think that Bob is 38 to start next season, and he gave up 22 more goals than he should have, and he was an .877 save percentage for Florida this year. And I think that they're going to make a critical decision, much like the way we've seen Vegas do it in the past. And if I'm them, I'm looking at Binnington. Binnington had a really big upswing since the Olympics, and Hofer is ready to take over in St. Louis. And I think that with the window that Florida has, I see a really good fit there for Binnington, being that he is the guy that can handle that pressure and that weight.
Sam has hated this segment. Just hated it.
That's just the most correct thing anyone's ever said on a podcast with Binnington in Florida. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, look, I think that what you do next, though, Bourne, is, yes, you look at the analytics. What do the analytics tell you? Well, they tell you that Florida is a team that defends really well off the rush, okay? When they won their 2 Stanley Cups, they didn't give up a lick off the rush. Binnington, he's really good when he gets to play the shooter and he gets to over-challenge and just play his one-on-one hockey. He gets hurt on backside when he over-challenges. Florida can protect him there. He has the pedigree. He has, the ability to go in and play big game hockey. I think it's a no-brainer for Florida.
Wow.
Are you good? That's some good stuff. Hey, listen, try to be better prepared next time you're on our segment. Okay, come on. Maybe you got one date wrong. March 17th was really March 16th. Something.
Well, I did not be so perfect. John Tortorella with Vladar, because I was looking for notes, and I wish you guys could just see how many notes I have here. It's a little confusing.
Oh no, sometimes. We can tell.
Hey, fellas, one question. Is this our last show?
No.
I hope not.
No. No, you don't know this.
Season.
Yes, it is.
Regular season.
Okay.
Regular season.
But we don't have Leafs going in the playoffs, so you guys are doing shows for the entire playoffs. Okay.
We are.
We're around, pal.
We are.
All right. So what are we doing with Grill Marks? Is this it?
Well, no, there's the regular season, and somebody can take home a President's Trophy. I'm okay with that.
See if I have the grit to carry on through the postseason.
Right? You can tell.
Right. No, you're right there, Kyper. I just posted it on Twitter. You're right there. You had a really
This is for the President's Trophy.
Okay. Okay, fellas. So here we go. Goals when the score is tied. I like to think that this is a game breaker in the NHL. The guy that scores when the score is tied. All right. We've got 3 options: Kaprizov, Caulfield, or Dylan Guenther.
Give me Goal Caulfield.
I like Gunther.
I like Caulfield.
Caulfield, 29 goals.
Yeah.
Gunther second with 19
Only
with the score tie.
That's a big gap.
Yeah.
10 more.
I know. Big time. All right, next one, fellas. When the score is within one, whether it's tied, up by a goal, or down by a goal, so it's tight conditions, who has scored the most goals in the league this year? Caulfield, Celebrini, McKinnon.
I don't think you would do this, but I'm going to say Caulfield.
I'm going to say Celebrini.
I'll say McKinnon.
I did it. I was trying to trick you guys.
Yeah.
That's dirty. That's
Yeah,
dirty.
He is
All right.
technically the smartest out of all of us.
All right. The last one here now, guys. I call this one the biggest cookie monster.
Okay, Caulfield.
So it's it's the guy that has
Tavares.
scored the most goals in the non-competitive situations of a hockey game when your team is either up by 2, down by 2, up by 3,
this is
down by
just-
3, or up by 4, down by 4.
Robertson.
Hey, ultimate cookie monster.
Ultimate. And it includes empty netters.
Oh, boy.
Okay. And it includes empty netters, the ultimate cookie monster. The names are Zibanejad, Kucherov, or Wyatt Johnson.
I want it to be Kucherov, so I'll say Kucherov.
I'm going to say it's Wyatt.
I'll go Kucherov.
Kucherov.
Yes.
Ah, big one for the
Yes.
boys.
He doesn't
boys.
deserve that MVP. It's cookie time.
So he had 7 empty netters this year.
What?
7 empty netters. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep.
They shouldn't count in the scoring race.
Well, they don't within my
disappointed me then.
analytics company when I'm on my little computer Kipper.
Wow.
All right, you guys.
Hey, Valley.
Hey, one thing I want to.
Trophy?
Do I have time, Sammy? I want to drop one more thing here before I get off.
Quickly.
Go, buddy.
Okay. I did some research on playing goalies back to back this year in the NHL. If you play the first game of a back to back, 905 save percentage, second game, 904.
Yes.
It's just about
Yes.
negligible.
Yes.
And I went back 8 years, Bourne, and it's negligible. This is a lazy narrative. Don't fall for it. Next year, no more load management for the goalies.
Yes,
Wow.
Valley.
Glenn Hall.
Hey.
Glenn Hall's back.
The Glenn Hall Award, the best back-to-back
Wow.
goalie. We're going to name it.
Yeah. All right.
All right, fellas.
Hey.
Have
Thanks,
a good
Valley.
one.
Valley, great
President's
stuff, man.
Trophy. President's
See you,
Trophy
boys.
winning.
Steve
Grill
Valiquette,
Marker.
everybody.
Way to go. Way to go.
And we know how many people watch this show. So, like,
Dozens.
yeah, it's done. We just ended back-to-backs.
That was an elite radio hit.
Valley's good.
It's game time presented by Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. I'm going to go to the Major Leagues of Baseball, where the Toronto Blue Jays kick off a 3-game set tonight in Milwaukee. Here's what I like tonight, okay? They're going up against James Mizorowski, who is a left-handed mutant that throws smoke. So what I like tonight, he's going up against Kevin Gausman, who is also extremely nasty. They are both in the top 10 in strikeouts in the Major Leagues of Baseball. I like a same-game parlay of Kevin Gausman, 7 strikeouts, and Jacob Mizorowski, 7 strikeouts, with both depleted lineups and both lineups not looking particularly great at this moment. That pays plus 280.
You know, I think that's one of your better game times.
Thank
I
you.
fully support that.
Thank you. So, Jays need a W. I'm not going anywhere near the money line. They're an underdog tonight with that Mizorowski on the mound. Who's
Was it his?
mutant.
Sorry, was it Gosman's last start where he got the balk call and Schneider got ejected?
Yes.
Electric.
really good
John
Boy breakdown of
Enjoyed
that.
that.
So, anyways, that was game time presented by Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. And I may remind you, Kipper, this hour of Real Kipper and Bourne is brought to you by Bet365.
Yes, it is.
Nice job, Sammy.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll go around the National Hockey League. Jonathan Quick shuts it down.
Yeah. What a career. Wow.
How do we not ask Valley about that?
I don't know what we're doing. We're not
We-
great at what we do.
honest to God, we jam so much in that segment.
we-
He's
an
the
hour
goalie guy with
segment.
the Rangers. He was just on the Rangers.
Oh, my God.
All right, let's take a
Go to
quick break.
commercial.
Take a good look around the National Hockey League when we return to the Real Kipper
Jeez.
and Bourne Show.
It's been 13 years since my wife and I moved to Toronto, which is a good 10 plus hours from either one of our families. We've loved the city and we love the work too, so turns out that distance has become permanent. We alternate who we see at Christmas, and each summer we try to go both places. That works because there's lots of people who like to see Toronto. A couple years back, we tried hosting our house on Airbnb, and it's funny how it's just become a part of the budget math now. It's like flights are going to be this much, and we know we're going to save that much of it by hosting on Airbnb, and we figure out the rest from there. This year, it's a particularly intriguing option as the FIFA World Cup 2026 is in Toronto, meaning there's going to be no shortage of people looking for a place to stay. We're excited to be around all that energy for the first little bit, but it's also going to be great to be able to get out of the madness too, and to recoup some vacation money at the same time. Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.ca/host.
Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee.
All right, boys, it's time for a new segment. Time now for the Acura Performance Matchup, the 2026 Acura MDX Precisely Premium. So one of the confirmed playoff matchups that we have for the playoffs this year is the Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round. And do you know when the last time they met in the playoffs was?
Was it the 2021 Stanley Cup Final?
It was the 2021 Stanley Cup Final, which is so weird to think about.
Is that
they're
not
both,
insane?
They're both Eastern Conference teams.
Right.
So
That was weird.
that was weird. That was the
Super
year
weird.
that the Leafs were up 3-1.
Tavares got Tavares.
And probably the Leafs' best chance to make a deep run because they went up against the Jets the next round. And then it was, I think, the Vegas Golden Knights is who they beat. That was a weird year.
That was.
Anyways, so they have met 4 times. I think I have it here somewhere in front of me here. Oh, yeah, it's on my sheet here. They have met 4 times in the playoffs. Tampa's won 3 of the 4. Canadians won the season series going 2-1-1. Thing I'm looking at here, Andre Vasilevsky against the Habs in his career has been unbelievable. He has a 16-5-2 record against them with a 208 goals against and a 929 save percentage.
The crease actually, that's crazy.
That's
the
a
crease actually
domination.
defines the series to me because it's the epitome of, I don't know if Tampa's on the way down, but it's a bunch of veterans. It's Vasilevsky and Hedman and Point and those guys. And then you got the Canadians with 2 rookies in net, and they're kind of meeting in their descent and ascent, I would say.
I was just for Vasilevsky, you got to go back to the injuries and post, including surgery, right? He's a big man.
Yeah, he's a lot of dude.
He's a lot of dude, a lot of up and down, a lot of wear and tear. You just wonder, can he capture like the magic of 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, like he had in the past with the body now of
a lot of hockey.
It's a lot of hockey and a lot of wear and tear.
Last 2 things quickly I'll mention here. Kucherov, 49 points in 42 games in his career against the Habs. Cole Caulfield, only 5 goals in 16 career games against the Lightning. So one of his lower total against a team that he's had a lot of games. So there we go. And that was Acura Performance Matchup, the 2026 Acura MDX Precisely Premium.
Beautiful. Precise. Premium.
You want to go through a little bit of my article that got released today on sportsnet.ca because we did
Vancouver
talk
stuff.
a little bit about the Vancouver Canucks and the situation, at least up top, in terms of what direction ultimately ownership will go,
Right.
including Francesco Aquilini, who's in charge in all of this. And right now there's just there's nothing on in terms of a definitive, this is how we're moving forward yet.
So Rutherford and Alvin are both kind of
In limbo
waiting
right
until
now.
it ends.
In limbo.
And do you think that shortly after that we should get some answers?
He could come. I would believe that something could break in another week, 10 days.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the feeling that he's got to come back and let the guys prepare if in fact they're going to keep moving forward with Rutherford. I said the options are you can get rid of both Alvin and Rutherford, bring somebody else new in. He could keep Rutherford. He can move their assistant general manager, Ryan Johnson, in and go there. He could decide there's nothing better out there and keep them both. But that seems a little high. It seems unlikely right now.
Yeah, given the year they had, I think it probably is. You even mentioned that.
They're playing better, though. I mean, they're fighting.
Yeah, I mean, once you're so far in last, you
Once
might as
you
well
lock it in, you might as well go.
Yeah, go for it. The
Once
old
you've
gold-
locked in the first overall pick,
Yeah.
is that what you're saying?
the
Correct.
gold plans theory there. So you're saying there's interest in Alvin were he to be somewhere? were he
Well,
to be
I
available?
just referenced the history that he's had with Billy Guerin.
Right.
And, Billy's, I don't know if a nice playoff run would solidify his status in Minnesota. He could also be one of those guys that can move up,
Billy,
bring
yeah.
more, bring a guy like Alvin in for more day-to-day,
Right.
making phone calls kind of operation. But, between the gold medal trading for Quinn and what he hopes is a long playoff run. Billy Guerin's in a pretty nice spot in Minnesota.
Well, you're talking about them moving around people in Vancouver. I can't look at that and say it's not an attractive job for somebody from the outside if they're going to go that way too. Like,
Gonna have
potentially
the number one
first overall
or
pick,
second, whatever it is.
have all your picks. You know, couple bad contracts that you're going to have to deal with there. The Pettersson one, the Besser one, but outside of that, like,
to me, it's perfect. Expectations are super low. Great place to live.
Yeah,
good fans.
They turn on you quick out there.
They've
but
got assets. They've got picks. They've got assets. You
Yeah.
could play with them. You could move them. You could trade for experienced guys. There's cap room coming.
Would you rather
It's attractive.
Would you rather take over the Canucks, Leafs, or Jets?
I mean, me personally, I would always say Leafs. But
Future,
I think the Canucks with
just
the
their
first pick overall.
long-term upside. Flames interesting too. Flames, by the way, have won way too much of late. I think they're fourth or something.
there's a chance that if they get 3 points in the next two games,
They could pass the
They
Leafs.
could pass the Leafs. I
They
mean, they
can't do that.
they're playing the Colorado Avalanche and the LA Kings, who I think still have a chance to play for a division potentially in their last game if the things break right for them. But anyways,
Flames got to be real careful.
Yeah.
To not win.
Don't get 3 points.
Well, don't do the whole year where you bottom out and then all of a sudden get hot and finish fifth last.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do.
It matters.
Kipper just hates tanking so much.
Should hate.
Just really,
It stinks.
it's so bad to talk about teams trying to lose on purpose. It's just, ugh.
You hear? I talked to.
It's getting worse.
I talked to Matt Bonner.
It's just getting worse.
Raptors guy, right? He does the NBA broadcast, and NBA is trying to work on their tanking. And he said,
What are their suggestions?
This is his suggestion. You can't win the lottery if you're bottom three. Anywhere else in there, you can win the lottery. But if you're going to be one of the worst
How
three
do they
teams,
get better?
you're out of the lottery.
How do they get better?
You just don't get to win the lottery. So whoever wins it passes you and bumps you to third or fourth or whatever. But you just can't win it. So there's incentive to not be the worst team in the league. Don't you want to incentivize those teams?
Well, if you really do, just send them to the American Hockey League for a year.
Oh,
Well,
relegation.
relegation is the answer. There's unequivocally the best system is relegation, but owners in pro sports who spend $2 billion on their franchise.
So who's coming? So then, like,
We got Utica tonight.
I was gonna say the Milwaukee Admirals are coming up.
Yeah,
Is that how it would
boy.
work?
buddy, I love the whole relegation thing, and
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you guys aren't up on the
How much money
the
would
table
they lose?
overseas.
How much money would you lose
yeah, you'd have
as an
to
owner?
win.
No,
Win.
you put you out of business.
You know what you'd be doing?
You can't have
spend,
$100 million payroll and
Buddy,
then play Utica
You'd
Devils.
be the KHL. You'd be shopping in the K and be like, we're going to spend so much money to get out of the American League.
I don't know if you guys big EPL guys, but for example, Tottenham Hotspur, who are one of the big, they are in the third last. They are like on the verge of getting
Sunderland
relegated.
was like, there's a
but like-
documentary about their plummet.
But Tottenham is like in the Champions League final within the last 5 years. Like they are a real team that's like
They're in the
that
third
threat,
league.
They're about to go. No, they're in the third spot in the table.
okay,
so like
yeah.
they could go down
Right.
to the next league.
Meanwhile,
And
Wrexham's on the
they
way
just
up
built-
from the 5th division.
Google their stadium. They just built $1 trillion stadium that's going to have like the Shrewsbury
Hey, boys,
town
kick
coming
it in the net.
Yeah, big net.
What's the problem here? The net's huge.
Just haul it in there. Word on the Sabres. They won the Atlantic.
God, you're just not fans of the Sabres.
No, I'm not a fan of the Sabres. I am.
Not a believer.
Like, I just think if they get
Yeah.
Ottawa in round one, are the Sabres huge favorites?
I don't think this is the year where we go huge favorites anywhere.
Yeah.
Is there a Daryl Sutter a waste of 8 days anywhere?
Yeah, Colorado versus LA or whatever ends up happening out west. Is
It's probably
at
waste
least
8 days.
Well, he's playing some
A
pretty
waste
good
of
hockey.
8 days.
It's a great clip.
I just, did you see any of the social stuff the Sabres did today?
Yeah, what'd you think? You see a kid?
No, I did not.
They were posting receipts of everyone who doubted them.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
sorry, say that again.
they're posting people's tweets. They're freezing
Hold on,
cold
hold on, hold
takes.
Okay, Derek's
Oh,
saying something. and-
they're posting other people's tweets that were betting against them, calling them failures. So they actually
They put a billboard up of Ryan Whitney saying they had 0% chance to make the playoffs. Like they really,
Oh, Ryan Whitney got a billboard.
but I just, you know,
Sam doesn't like it.
oh, how dare we think that the Buffalo Sabres could miss the playoffs potentially? It's been a decade and a half. They fired their GM because they thought they were going to miss the playoffs again.
If your own team bets against
they stunk so bad until January.
You just let them have a little fun, please.
Just act like you've been there before.
But they haven't been there
it's
before.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
They were a once
You can't
proud
act like you've been there before when you haven't been there in like 15 years.
They were the premier hockey franchise of my youth. They beat the brakes off everyone. They had so many great runs. They're a proud hockey with great history. And they got to go and post on Twitter about like people saying that they're not going to make the play. It was their own. They're dunking on their own fans. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Grow up.
I am happy that they get to be on this side of it. You know, it's been for the fan base anyway. I'm sure the Buffalo fans are enjoying it.
Well, not if they got dunked on by their own team.
That's true.
So we don't know who they're playing.
No, they will play. So they won the Atlantic.
Boston or Ottawa, right?
Boston or Ottawa is who they'll get. They beat Boston for sure.
It'll be good.
It's
That
going to
would
be a
good
great series. I think either series goes at least 6.
7.
Yeah.
Some good laundry there, too.
Tell you what,
Sabres.
Boston's sneaky tough, boys. Sneaky tough.
Fantastic goaltending.
They're gritty.
Good goaltending. Pasta, McAvoy. That's not the 3 guys that you necessarily want to go out.
Sammy, Minton.
Oh, yeah. His
right?
1 goal since the Olympic break. I'm shaking in my booties.
He didn't make
good thing the Leafs gave him away.
Well, I know everyone crowned him like immediately. It's like we're not allowed to say the other side of it now.
Yeah.
Like it's maybe not the biggest, anyways.
Not the worst mistake the Leafs made.
No, trading Nazem Kadri.
No, when it becomes 6th overall and
then it's the
Chase
biggest
Reed.
mistake. Then it's the biggest mistake.
Yeah. Also in your column, do we do Seattle yet?
No, we haven't. But Ronnie Francis is out there now. There's a feeling like he certainly would welcome getting back involved at a executive level again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that does for the thoughts of Vancouver or Toronto or anyone else contemplating changes. New Jersey.
Some interesting sort of implications in the article just about the last couple of years for Ron that maybe he wasn't the decision maker at
Elliot
times.
also in 32 Thoughts mentioned that it really stemmed a few years ago on a coaching change where Bilesma came in and wasn't really Ron Francis's guy, but it was leaning towards Botterill and the ownership group going into that direction. And I think that was kind of the start of it in terms of Ron Francis was the president, by title for sure, but it didn't fall into the slots that we've been accustomed to when it comes to hierarchy and president, GM, assistant GM, coach.
Yeah, curious. And I imagine a name like him, respected guy, there would be interest out there. So,
yeah, we'll see how it kind of plays out here.
Interesting, though, that I thought you noted that Seattle was having trouble getting players to waive no trade clauses to go to Seattle. To me, Seattle, I know they haven't won, but that's a great city and a great part of the world and
irrelevant team.
Right, but like it'd be a cool place to be good.
Sure.
But they're just not yet.
Yeah.
And they don't really, I don't know.
Not yet.
No real star. I don't know. We've talked about it forever that they've just kind of been blah since the time they came.
Tried to win with defense and goaltending.
As a reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. All right, boys. How many games on tap tonight? It's
10,
like exhibition games, right?
10 exhibition games. Yeah.
10 exhibition games.
So I think the Ducks have some meaning, and I think there's a couple that have a couple, but not much.
Our thanks to Steve Valiquette on our Tuesday regularly scheduled Valley. And Sammy's True and False. Big success, Sammy.
Oh, thank you, man. Really
all right. Enjoy your games tonight. And we're back tomorrow to do it all over again on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Have a great night, everybody.